All right, hello and welcome everyone to the Zoom Racing League Season 8 preseason race. And qualifying's already underway. We've got 14 and a half minutes left. Some of these guys are already out on hot laps, but real quick, want to introduce Nathan Doan here at the booth with me today. Nathan, how you doing? Not too bad, man. I'm glad to see a showcase of the action we got here today. As quick laps already in from Hudson. Hudson Poole goes a 26.6 banker. And I'm honestly not sure. You have any idea what kind of laps we should be seeing here today? Yeah, I think typically that might be a little bit more of what we see. So Quinton's on a lap right now. I think this lap that he puts in will give us a very good baseline, or more of a confirmation, more or less, on if Hudson's provisional pole time is accurate with that 26.6 he's put up on the board. One thing I'll point out, though, these drivers, one thing they did for us today to kind of make it easier for the spectators to see and the team principals who are scouting it, they all changed their car colors to their color of their division they're sorted into. So you can see right now Quinton here with the bright yellow car, Hudson also with the yellow car, as Quinton comes across with a 26.7, by the way. So that is probably the kind of baseline provisional time we're looking at the moment. Maybe low 26s for pole. But yeah, and as you can see, Buzz got here repping the orange Division 2 colors. And then Kagini's down here in P6, currently the first person in D3 with the red car. And also, I just noticed Magnus and Cube's out on the mediums. Yeah, that would make more sense. I'm not sure. Maybe, unless... I don't think it's a full qualifying session. My theory, okay? What if he knows something we don't? Just big brain. This is probably wrong, but Jetta in the daytime has to be awfully freaking hot, right? What if these softs are like overheating and he knows that and no one else does? I don't know. I know typically when people run Jetta, we're not practicing it during the daytime, so it's kind of hard to know for sure. See if we've got anyone else out in lap right now. Ecos, Darth Vader. I think he's starting a lap? Or is he coming to the finish line? I'm not sure. Let's see. Just to make sure. Okay, talk real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, you're picked up now. So, all right. So yeah, Ecos, Darth Vader, new to the league. He's gonna be racing in Division 1. Oh, and that is not the way you want to start it. On an in lap too. So Ecos, Darth Vader. Oh man, that turn 3 really can get you though. That wall just comes out so quickly. Just doing it on an in lap is got to be really frustrating. John Ranger here also on an in, he's on an in lap. Okay, I don't know if we have anyone out on hot laps at the very moment. Got a couple people stuck in the pits, but go ahead.
So that wall in turn 3, that's been moved in now, so maybe some drivers are still used to how the wall, you know, was very far back and you could really cut that corner, but now, no, there's a wall there, and Darth Vader found that out the hard way. Unfortunate for him, because he's one of our D1 drivers, and he's one of them as well that's been, you know, he's not really known in this league, so team principals are trying to really get to understand his pace, but when he's out in the first couple of minutes of Q qualifying here, that's a bit hard to do.
Yeah, you and I both being team principals as well, I think that I can speak for all of us when I'm saying we really kind of were probably hoping to see what kind of time Darth Vader could put up, because we just don't know what to expect. Like, that guy could go down and be pick 20 and be a top 5 value, you know? So it's like one of those things where he might just be one of those guys who just gets drafted really low because people don't know what to expect. And I don't know. He could be really fast, but now him doing this in qualifying just makes it even more of a little bit of an unknown factor. And he's going to have to start towards the back of the grid with a lot of these guys who are in D3 and D2 who are a lot more off pace.
Yeah, dropping down to pick 20, that'd be awesome for me, wouldn't it? But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've seen him race before in some place, and he's been relatively quick. So I think he'll have a bit more to show in the race. He had said in the chat that he looked at his phone for a split second on his in-lap and turned in too early, and boom. So I
Yeah.
don't think it was like he was driving and it was a mistake. I think he just lost attention and right
Yep.
into the wall he goes.
And that's why texting and driving is illegal in all 50 states, right? So, all right. So we got Max out on a lap right now. Won Division 2 last season. I'd have to say that for today, he's probably a favorite to be at the top of all the Division 2 guys here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, I hope to put an end to that reign, but, you know, what can I do? I think he's very, very quick driver, taking down the likes of Dougie Falcons last season, who looked to be in a comfortable win, but, you know, Max came in and swooped it, and he's had lots of confidence at the end of the last season when he was on the grind to kind of just get the championship. You could tell that he was really willing to put in the work and do everything that he could to get the championship. So he's on a lap right now. He's going through just about sector 3 right now. He's going to have the 2 straights and the final corner to go. It's probably hitting top speeds of around 205 miles an hour if you can make it there, maybe even higher.
A little bit higher than that even. So yeah, might be looking at more of a race setup from Max, and that's probably something we saw that a lot from a lot of the Mercedes team last season. So probably more standard to what we're expecting. But let's see what kind of time he puts up, and that's gonna put him at the P3 ahead of BuzzGod, who's expected to kind of be his top competitor in the Division 2. So really cool to see these guys neck and neck right now.
Yeah, and speaking of BuzzGod, we got him on the lap right now. He's going through the tricky sector 1 here. Oh, but he got on the curb.
That's gonna do it for that lap right there. He's gonna have time for another one, but that'll do it for sure on that one. We got Era start or get ready to start a lap. Who else we got in a lap right now? I think Major Castleman is yeah, he's just about to finish sector 2 real quick. We'll see if he's up or down on his lap. Comes to the second DRS zone. And this next corner coming up on the left is just got to be one of the trickiest corners on the whole calendar. Extremely blind apex. You got to trust that the car just sticks, and he's up 7/10. So right now that's going to put him somewhere in the top 10. We'll see if he can hold on to it.
Higher downforce for him.
Yeah, a little bit higher downforce. The top speed's a little bit lower through there. As Quentin comes across with a 26.4. Okay.
Pretty good.
And that Major Castleman comes across in P10 with a 27.8. Maybe not where he wants to be at the moment, but like I said, there's still time for another run for all these guys. We'll probably be seeing them come up for their final rounds. Just under 3 minutes left in the session. See who else we got on a lap right now. I think Big Mama Frank? No, Big Mama Frank's bailed on this lap. Okay, so let's see who we got down here. Is Hokage Roldy? Yeah, Hokage Roldy is actually coming around the final corner right now. He's up a second and a half on his time. See if he can come to the line and prove it all. And he is. He's going to improve to P15, and it doesn't seem like a huge jump, but when you look at all those D3 guys down there at the bottom, you know, in 17, 18, 19, 20, that's a good little jump.
Yeah, and coming to maybe the final corner now, we have Eric Cavallo, another D1 challenger. We'll see if he can put in a time that is competitive with his other D1 fellows. He's got a bit of traffic going into the final corner, though. Not sure where that is. I think it's either John Ranger or Big Mama Frank. But whatever it is, he's going to get a little bit of a tow as they go into the pits, and he's going to go down to the line, and it's going to be a 1:26.861. Good for P3. And yeah, so right now, out of all of the drivers, but most importantly the D1 drivers, Quentin K leads all of them by 2/10.
Yeah, and right now it's a D1 1-2-3 lockout at the moment, so we'll see if they can hold on to that. I know realistically these things should sort by color code, right? So I mean, we should have the top, I don't know how many D1 drivers we have in here. 6 I'm seeing, 7 if you count Darth Vader. So Darth Vader's out, but I don't see why there's any reason that we shouldn't have 6 D1 drivers at the top.
Yeah, absolutely no reason at all. Magnussen Cube is a bit behind the orange colored cars, but he's on a lap right now just to try and get past them. I don't know if it's real, but he did post a purple sector 1, which means he's fastest of all, so we'll maybe see a very competitive lap. He takes that corner very nicely, I must say, getting very close to the wall and getting on the power early. These walls have been backed up a little bit, so it's easier to cut kind of the white line now into this very tricky left-hand corner. As you said, misses the apex by a little bit, touches that curb on the right, and then flat out all the way down to the final corner and flat out once again for the third tier SM.
Yeah, this is a good place, like you said, to check their speed. He's hitting 206. I did see the Era was up to 209 there at the very end of the straightaway there, so Era might be running the lowest downforce we've seen so far. Max and Cube comes across the line with on these soft tires. He's going to go P2 right in front of Hudson. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for D1 showing up at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder if that would be Track Evolution aiding Magnus and Cube in his lap, because we both know that he's not the fastest driver in D1, but putting up a time like that, it's a very competitive time, I must say.
Yeah, really good time. So let's see who else we have on a lap at the moment. I think maybe John Ranger, is he on a lap? No, he just finished a lap, so he's coming into the pits. We really shouldn't have anyone on a lap at the moment, but you know, as I say that, we do have Leo Hudson who's out. This will be his final lap because he's kind of fallen out of qualifying rhythm. Yeah, but we'll see if he can improve. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to get to experience the ultimate track evolution on the very... Oh, and he invalidates, so that could... Well, I don't know. What do you think? Can he make it back to the garage and get back out?
I don't know if he needs to, if he fueled up the car enough. That he has plenty of battery, so I think he can just go on another lap right after this one.
Well, if he's doing that, he needs to turn off his hot lap mode right now because I'm seeing his battery still drain. And it's not going to come back to life if he doesn't let go of it.
Probably about 40 seconds to get into the pits after that. Maybe he has a chance at getting another lap in. It's going to be very tight, though, for Leo Hudson.
All right, we do have Big Mama Frank, who's on a lap. He was up 4/10 through Sector 1. See what kind of time he can put up on the board. He is expected to be a top Division 3 driver. I know that his livery, he forgot to change it, but that's all right. He's expected to be towards the top of D3. Right now, he is with Kaginis, who's currently holding the first position in D1 or D3, but I think with this lap, if Big Mom Frank keeps up his improvements, he's gonna pretty comfortably hold the spot for the time being.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, I was talking with you and a bunch of other fellows last night, and we were thinking that maybe he's going to be a challenger for Division 3 title this season, so he'll have to show some pace to really prove that. I didn't catch how much he was up by in the second sector, but 2 minutes left to qualifying. This will be his last lap of qualifying here through the final corner. Very, very deep. I don't know what that's about. Could have cost him quite a few tenths. Maybe he goes to the line.
Oh, yeah, he's not even improving anymore. I think he's just calling it quits. You can't get back out now, so that will be the end for Big Mom Frank. So Kagini's currently leading the D3 drivers, Max leading the D2 drivers, and Quinton at the top for the D1 guys. And Quinton's on an outlap right now. Let's tune in. I think... well, a lot of these guys are just now taking off for their outlaps, honestly. Let's see. I'm trying to find out who's that first driver. D2 driver. Is that Combined YouTuber? So Combined YouTuber is going to be the first one to start his final lap as far as I can see. Yeah, we'll hang on with Combined YouTuber. So Combined's going to take turn 1. Pretty cleanly, and at this point in the qualifying session, there's a lot of grip on the track, so we can really see a lot of full sends, maybe missing his apex there a little bit in turn 3, and this S section here in Sector 1 is really just on the edge of grip, full throttle all the way, and really hard to stay within track limits there on the exit, but he does keep it within the lines, and through Sector 1 he's not improving, so maybe not the best lap for Combined YouTuber right now.
Yeah, no, but we got a couple of D2 drivers behind him. He's going to be leading all of his fellow D2 members. After that, we have Simon Colliston, Buzzgod, of course, and then Max going through. So we have someone DNF.
Yeah, so Leo Hudson DNF right there, and I believe we have another driver coming up on him. I don't know who that's going to be. Okay, so the car was cleared, but Buzzgod's coming in through the same corner where we just saw that DNF. And Combined YouTuber just retired the car up here. Hopefully that car stays off the track. So we'll stay on board with Buzzgod as he comes through Sector 3. He'll come around the final corner. We'll see if he can improve his time at all to get ahead of Max, or maybe jump in there with that group of D1 guys in the top 4.
Doesn't have to improve much to do so, but he's looking good through the final corner, down to the line, put on the DRS. It's going to be very close with the top 5. What does it put him? It's P4 for Buzzgod, with people behind him to improve. You got Eric Carvalho 3/10 up on his time, and he's one of the most, probably the quickest D1 driver as in this grid maybe. Hudson also another very quick contender. Magnussen Cube also up there.
Quinten
Improving
too,
just a
yeah.
little bit. Quinten is going to be flying here. 2/10 up in Sector 2. This could be, could maybe even be in 25. We'll have to see though if Quinten can really put in the magic for this last lap of qualifying for him. He's on provisional pole already, but down to the line. Can he improve on his first time? It will be a 1:26.16.
There he goes for Quinten, yeah. So
time.
Aaron next across the line. Let's see if he can challenge that at all. And he's going to go P2 for the moment. Next across the line is going to be Hudson Poole. See if he can improve. He's going to 26.3. He's going to improve. It's going to put him P2. Final across the line is going to be Magnussen Q, though. Can he do anything about it? And he jumps there up to P3. And I think that might be it. No, I think Florida bailed on his lap. We got Chonk on a lap. Is he still going for it?
No, that's it for qualifying.
Yeah, I think that's it. So we have a D1 lockout for first through fourth place, but Buzzgod, Max, Simon, Grid Jokes all getting ahead. Even Loki and PSQ getting ahead of Major Castleman, who maybe had a little bit of a struggle during qualifying. And Eco Darth Vader is going to have to start from the back at P16. And it's going to be tough to get it going from there.
We got the McLaren livery on for Logan PSQ here.
Does he?
And yeah, he's got the triple can livery. While
Oh
it
my
is a nice
gosh.
livery.
It is a nice livery, but it's the wrong color. But we'll let it slide because, you know, that's orange.
It does have that orange in it.
It does have the orange, yeah. So it is a beautiful livery. So we'll let that one go. But all right, so that is the end of qualifying. We're gonna have Quinten on pole, Hudson rounding out the front row with Magnussen Cube and Era in the second row, and Buzzgod and Max, our D2 leaders, sitting there in the third row. But for right now, we're gonna take a short intermission, and we'll be back with you right at the start of the race. All right, guys, and we are back, and the sun is out. It's a hot day here in Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, and the drivers are getting prepared and ready to go. They're locking in their setups, choosing what tire compound they want to start the race on, setting their fuel, getting their tire strategies right, checking in with their engineers, making sure the radio is good, and a lot going through their heads right now. This is really one of the first official sort of events we've had for Zoom Racing League here in F123, so maybe a lot of nerves on the line here. If Nathan, I know you were thinking about racing this. How would you have felt if you were in the grid right now?
I mean, I'd feel pretty, not nervous, I would say, but, you know, just the pre-race nerves are always going to be there. I'd be a bit, maybe confused, and just because right now, normally we'd race Jeddah under the lights, of course, but because there's a bit of a glitch with nighttime at the moment, we're going to be running it in daytime, so that probably means that the track is going to be hotter, which means tires will be hotter. So that's why we don't see the T-posing mechanics anymore is because they're so focused on. Oh,
Mhm.
I'll let you take the lights away.
Oh,
Actually.
yeah,
Oh
here we
wait,
go.
we got a
Oh, we got a
formation
formation lap.
actually.
Yes. Okay. All right. So
Yes.
last game on F122, we did have a formation lap glitch. Wow, it looks really cool seeing all those cars together like that. That's really awesome. But we had a formation lap glitch on the last game where we weren't able to use it due to some tire temperature bugs. As far as we're aware, and we're still in the early testing stages of F123, that has been fixed. So we're gonna go ahead and we have that turned back on now, and we're gonna be running some tests on that. But like you said, like there's just a lot of unknown right now in Zoom Racing League for the upcoming season. You know, every game we see a lot of guys who maybe were really good drop down to the bottom, or a lot of guys who were maybe not so good get really fast all of a sudden, and that's just because maybe this game is more suited to them. And you know, it's an exciting time for a lot of these guys. Also, early in the game, there's a big learning curve, you know, and there's a lot of new features in the game. I know they've completely reworked the tire compounds. The tire strategies are going to be a lot different. The setups are all completely new, and you know, it's kind of a race, like an intelligence race. Who can be the first to figure that sort of stuff out, right? So, you know, for these guys in the top four. I don't know so much about Era, but I know Quinton, Hudson, and Magnussen have all been grinding this game, and they put in a lot of time and effort to sort of be the first to figure this sort of stuff out. And they're going to be able to showcase their talents here for us today, so it's going to be fun to keep an eye on them. And then there at the back, we got a lot of D3 drivers who are still sort of learning the game, and you know, they're in a fun state of their sim racing career where they can kind of, you know, we've all been there before, and it's just a fun place to sort of expand your knowledge and skills, I guess. So we are coming to the grid now. Any final words, Nathan? Who you think's gonna win this race?
I think I have my money on Hudson Poole. However, he's on the alternate strategy. We have plenty of different strategies
You're right.
today. Many people starting on the medium tires, some on the hard tires, but also a couple on the soft tires. Darth Vader, a fast driver, potentially on the soft tires, is going to be even faster. The car's lining up to the grid now. I did want to mention that there is maybe a potential formation lap glitch where if you get disqualified, whether it's because you miss your grid spot or you collide with another driver, your tire temps regen. So maybe we'll see that with Logan and Ranger, as we just see them getting disqualified now. But hey, it doesn't matter now because the lights will be on very, very soon. We have the final bit of D3 drivers coming to their grid spots now. And it just adds a little bit more of a factor. If you can get the optimal grid spot lineup, it will give you a bit more jump on the drivers ahead. But here come the lights. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go. We got a terrible camera angle right here. Let's see if we can switch it up real quick to Eric Carvalho here in 4th place as they head down to turn 1. And Eric's going to be looking towards the inside, but he backs out. And Buzzgod's going to go ahead and take P4 from Era. Let's see if Simon, who jumped up a couple positions, is able to make anything happen. Doesn't appear so, but Max is able to fight with him for that position. And Era's going to sort of fall in line as the rest of them all do as well behind. And we see the beautiful colors with the purple. Oh, no, we've got Leo Hudson out of the session. Not sure what happened there. It looks like, is it a full safety car? So is that Leo Hudson and Steven Alvarez, I believe. Steven doesn't appear to have any damage, but I did see him around back there. We got a full safety car early.
Yeah, Kaganus with a broken front wing as well, so interesting. By the looks of it, with Alvarez having no damage on his car, but Leo Hudson definitely having a bit of damage on his. I'd assume that maybe Leo got just pinched on the inside wall and Alvarez got spun around from that. But yeah, just shows that anything can happen. Off the start, I did see a bunch of contact. Eric Carvalho getting hit from behind even a little bit by one of the D2 drivers. And maybe that's why he lost out P4. But I mean, Buzzcott doing a very good job to just jump the positions early. And with his medium tires, he's going to have not too many cars to clear, if he can clear them, of course. Hudson is going to be the main one just trying to fight because the tire temperatures are very different in this game where you really have to be weaving and getting the temperatures into these tires very aggressively to have any kind of warmth in them. So it's going to be difficult for our hard runners to really get that to work, but if they can, then they are in a very good position.
Yeah, there you go. And it showed the likely pit strategies. If you're starting on the softs, it said boxing around lap 10 is going to be the move. If from 10 to 12 it said, and I think if it said you were on the mediums, then you're going to be looking at around lap 13 to 15. Maybe I saw that right. Chonk or Hokage Rollies decided to come to the pits, and that may be Let's see, start on the mediums. Let's see what he decides to do. I was gonna say, I mean, there's a stop this early. It's surely I don't think Hards can make it to the end, right? But is anyone gonna try it?
Looks like he will, and no
Yeah.
front wing change either. Kagan a bit of a different story there, and having to change his front wing.
Yeah, Kaganus is gonna go to the Hards as well. So I mean, it sounded like I was saying that with confidence, like you can't make it to the end, I guess. But I don't know. Like this game is new. I don't know. Maybe Hards can go that long. It might not feel good, but you know, maybe they know something we don't. These guys down in D3 here at the bottom. So if Hokage Rode can stay on those Hards to the end, maybe he can get some track position that he needs, or maybe he's hoping for another safety car that falls into good timing for him. So Hudson also on the Hards. A lot of these guys who start on mediums and Hards, I don't know, there's not a whole lot that they can do, I guess, with this safety car. But maybe I was kind of thinking like Darth Vader or Chonk, you know, who are on the softs. I don't know how long they're planning on those lasting, but they could have maybe came in. I guess they decided to stay out though. So
Yeah, I mean, in real life, we see some drivers pitting quite early and then going Hards to the ends, but I don't know if that translates well over to this game. But with the safety car, you could imagine that the softs could last to maybe even around lap 12, because on the AWS little graphic there, it did say that the normal strategy would be pitting around lap 10 from the softs. So,
yep,
gonna be a bit different than last year, that's for sure. Normally it'd just be a hard medium strategy for every single race, but now it's gonna be a bit mixed up.
real quick, then I want to point out we have to keep our eye on Eco Darth Vader, who started there towards the back, way out of place. A Division 1 driver, started P16, but he is already up 4 spots on the soft tires. Looks like maybe lagging around a little bit, but up 4 spots, and that's really what he needs to do. That's probably why he started on the soft tires, and it probably was a wise choice, really just to sort of clear this field a little bit, get ahead of some of these guys who he's probably comfortably quicker than, and just get himself back on sort of a strategy with the front runners.
Yeah, Quentin really pushing the safety car around, bumping into it a bit. But should be in this lap if these drivers all the way in the back decide to hit. It looks like they've actually decided to go back onto mediums, so maybe just trying to go back to their own strategy. They don't really have anything to lose because they're at the back of the pack anyway.
What is happening here?
What's happening with Magnussen and Quentin here?
Well, Quinton was P1, and all of a sudden I just watched him. I don't know if he tabbed out or something.
He was definitely ghosted.
Yeah, he literally teleported behind. I know that was an issue in past games if you tabbed out and came back in. Give him a quick warning in general chat to be careful not to tab out. I'm not sure what that was, but hopefully Desync isn't back for F123. I haven't seen too much about Desync. Maybe a little bit of lagginess.
Oh no, we got more position changing. Eric Cavallo and Max switching positions. That's
I think they swapped it back already, but
yeah, they did. Just adding a bit more spice to the safety car procedures, I guess.
yeah, maybe warming up those tires with the brakes and oh, what the heck? Max is slowing way down, falling way behind the field right now. Uh-oh, Chonk.
That penalty.
And what happens? Hold on a second. Does Chonk still have his front wing?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I don't know what that was about, but we should be making any contact under safety car. But hey, safety car is coming in this lap. We'll keep an eye from Hudson's point of view. See if he can get that run he needs. And also, we know the Era's running that low downforce setup. But can Quentin get the jump on Hudson right here? Quentin holding the field as he gets ready to go. Is that a little bit of false start from Quentin?
There you go.
All right, so he's off, and Hudson did get a pretty good run beside him. Does Hudson want to use his battery to get down there? It appears he is using his battery. He's going to try to outbrake him into turn 1 and see if he... Okay, decides to back out of it. But behind him, we got Buzzgod making a move on Magnussen Cube, and he's going to get the position. And Buzzgod's up at a P3.
And he hit Hudson on the way through. And we got more action in the back. It looks like Max is trying to make up positions on Magnussen Cube in 5th place. Looks a bit cleaner than the original start. D3 driver's already dropping back a little bit. I wonder what that is about. Maybe just a lack of pace. Who knows? Maybe a
It
bit
could
of
be,
damage
yeah.
from Florida's maybe contact. It could be due to that.
And we're going to keep a
Good
close eye
driving
on
going
this
on.
group of Major Castleman, who's going for a dive down the inside. A combined YouTuber, and he's going to get it done, I believe, as he's going to clear him through that corner as they head towards Sector 3. And these two D1 drivers are definitely out of place. They got to get towards the front of the field quickly.
Yes, absolutely. Now Darth Vader on the soft tires, and now in D1 he's going to get past combined YouTuber as well on this windy straight here. John Ranger right now on the hard tires from Division 2, is it 3?
Yeah, Division 2,
either
yeah,
way-
so...
Either way, he's got Major Castleman behind him, so maybe a bit of an overtake looking to happen. And yes, around the outside goes Major Castleman. Going to be a very clean move as Era and Magnuson Cube are actually having a bit of a battle themselves. Around the outside goes Magnuson Cube. He's going to get a better run on Era, but he hasn't actually. Fully on the battery now, Magnuson Cube has lost out to Eric Carvalho, and now maybe Era could go for a move on Buzzgod. He's inching towards him.
Oh,
And around the outside he goes.
Sends it up the...
Very
Not a
wide.
whole lot of room there, but...
Plenty of contact.
Oh, whoa, what's going on
Still
here?
making- what is happening here?
So maybe we do have some
Buzzcod,
desync. I'm not sure what we just saw.
And down the inside goes
Oh
Magnuson
my
Cube.
gosh, what
More
the-
contact.
Okay, hold on. So we have a safety car,
And
but what?
Virtual safety car.
Is it a full safety car?
Uh,
Oh, VSC, okay.
Virtual.
I'm hoping that we're
and,
not the only ones seeing this desync. Or actually, I hope that we are the only ones. I hope that they're not experiencing that on track, or maybe it's some sort of ghosting for them, but what the heck?
Yeah, absolutely. And in the midst of all that, we had Florida breaking his front wing into turn 1, Alvarez pitting for who knows what. But yeah, that was definitely a bit dodgy for this new game to have desync like that. I mean, I'm sure you saw Buzzgod just shaking around all the time, right?
Yeah, I think and that could... We've seen that a lot of times with our European drivers, generically speaking, but...
Switching positions again under the safety car. Air and Max.
Yeah, and these two guys... Well,
And okay. And I assume that the virtual safety car is going to be ending soon, and it has.
yeah, so it is going green.
No drive-through penalties, luckily, and the pack is actually kind of closed up a bit. Go through this little pack between 7th, 8th, 9th, and all the way back down to maybe 12th, but maybe seeing some overtakes happen here. Ooh, a bit of contact between D2 drivers, Grid Jokes, and Simon Colston as Simon gets thrown into a wall. Major Castleman now looking around the outside of Simon, maybe having a bit of damage to Simon. Around the outside, it's going to be a drag race down into turn 1. Will maybe some drivers behind get involved? John Ranger looking to go side by side with Grid Jokes. Around the outside goes John Ranger. He might even look at
Ooh.
P8 here on Major Castleman. In his only purple car in this race is making moves here, but no, Grid Jokes is going to look to come back. Doesn't get the opportunity though. Darth Vader can't do anything about it, and a bit of drivers behind. Big Mom Frank having a bit of a moment through turn 3.
Yeah, and I know Darth Vader's been on the move, but Major Castleman's making it to the field quickly. He's kind of lost the back of Major Castleman, and he's kind of run out of time here on these 5-lap old softs. If he's got to make these moves happen, he's got to get it done real soon, because these tires are going to fall off a cliff, and if they haven't already, and at that point he's really lost all the advantage he has on them. So we'll see. But early in this stint, Quinton off to a 2-second lead, and we'll kind of see there, obviously, like, there's a tire difference there, but how big is that tire difference? How much time is Hudson willing to lose comfortably before, you know, Quinton is too far gone, I would say. So we'll keep an eye on it, but that gap is definitely getting bigger.
I would keep an eye on Buzzcod actually. He's got DRS and ERS around, and he's just going around the outside of Hudson. He's going to make it well past the braking zone, and he has. So Hudson will have the DRS going into this next straight, I believe. And it's going to be detected now, and he's going to get it. So will we see a battle into turn 1? On the hard tires is Hudson Poole, but can he make it to the back of Buzzcod? Buzzcod is looking to fly past, but no, he's coming back at him. Is Hudson Poole down the inside into turn 1? Can he make the move stick? Looks like he will, but Buzzcod just tries to fight it back a little bit, and he hasn't, but Hudson having a bit of a moment out of turn 2, and he makes a move stick, and back into P2 goes Hudson Poole.
Yeah, and it looks like Eco Darth Vader finally did get by John Ranger. I believe he just now did that, so he's on the move again. But some good battling right there between the D2 and D1 driver, and that's just honestly a little bit because, like I said, Hudson's on that hard tire, and he's kind of, you know, holding up the guys behind him a little bit. As you see, Buzzgod was able to hold on to that DRS and make it a pretty easy pass. We have a D3 driver around there in the back who is that Kagini, so Kagini's not having a great day. He's going to go around at one of the hardest sectors in Formula 1. That Sector 1 at Jeddah can be very deadly. Ooh, and he's going to spin it again. We're going to get off the commentator's curse here. Oh, wow. Okay, so caution in Sector 1 for him. But BuzzGod all over the back of Hudson still. 5/10 back. And is this going to be enough? What do you think? I think that's close enough to make an overtake.
In this next one, as Hudson has a bit of a moment coming out of that little chicane as well. He's gaining on Quinton K, but he's not going to get enough to get the DRS, but BuzzGod has, and now he's going around the outside again into the final corner. And maybe we'll see another similar story as Hudson.
Oh no, and Eco Darth Vader's around. And I think he's probably got damage just guessing off of what happened right there. Oh, yeah, he's missing a right-in plate, so...
And Hudson Poole might be coming back at BuzzGod again, but he looks a bit too far back now. But we got a battle in the back. X-Max flying past Maxson Cube. Maxson going a bit deep, actually, is Max. And now around the outside goes Maxson. And he doesn't make it sick, and he's lost out the position. Maybe having a moment, puts Eric Cavallo onto him. Down the inside goes Era, but backs out of the move. Very, very smart driving from him. Simon Colston out of the session and on the track.
Oh, and that's his full safety car. Wow.
Let's see what happened to Simon Colston here. Looks like, did he have a moment of just flying to the wall? That's a very odd spot to lose the car. It's been cleared already. But interesting to see car DNF there. Eco Darth Vader, the D1 driver, into the pits for the medium tires. It looks like he's being held for a penalty. Are you seeing this as well?
Yeah, no, he's being held for a wing change would be my guess. Oh, he's out of the pits now. Okay, so weird teleportation. But yeah, so Darth Vader's out of the pits. And honestly, that's gonna work in his favor because he had a broken wing, and he needed to get off those softs anyway. He's gonna lose a couple spots, but that's probably the ideal situation for him.
Yeah, damage limitation. Not for Simon Colston though. Bit of an interesting teleportation thing there. He was held in his pit box for a long time without any wing change happening, but then he just teleported right into turn 1. So maybe a bit of a bug there, at least visually. I don't know if that's affected the race at all, but we'll hope it hasn't.
All right, so for these guys in front, I think for the medium guys, you come in, right? But what about Hudson back here in P3? Will he decide to come in?
He will.
He will. So can he make it to the end on these mediums? Or is he thinking maybe going 2-stop, soft? I'm not sure. We'll see what he decides to go with. And he is going to go to the medium tire, so he's going to try to make it to the end. 16 laps. I haven't done my studies on this, but 16 laps at Jeddah in the hot sun.
Era's staying out.
So Era decides to stay out, and that's kind of what I thought would happen for people on the hard tires. So now we got Era and Big Mom Frank out front on the hards.
Major on the mediums, though, not pitting.
And that's definitely an interesting strategy. I think if you're Major, you're at this point gambling on another safety car.
Absolutely, and at this rate, I would see why he would do that. I believe we could maybe see another safety car pretty soon, but I have to say, Hudson hasn't really lost too much here. He's now got the better tire on, and he's still in the same pack, and he's not too far from the front as well, so maybe it wasn't the wrong decision to pit as.
Yeah, see, I would give advantage to Hudson for now. I would expect Hudson to get the lead. But the only thing is he's got to get the lead and he's got to go quick and he's got to get that gap and hope it stays green, because I'm telling you what, when it comes down to those final 2 or 3 laps, those hards are definitely going to be the superior tire.
Yeah, absolutely, but we're still a bit to discover here with the medium tires and just the longevity of all these tires in general. It's going to be interesting to see just what can happen. Still have to keep in mind that warming the tires is going to be a lot more difficult. It's just the surface temperatures, when you go in a straight line, they rocket back down to 70 degrees, and it just doesn't help the warming at all. I think we'll have safety car in maybe next lap, if we're lucky. All
yeah.
In the back.
Wait for Florida and Kaginis and Chonk to kind of get up to the field.
I expected Chonk to be a bit further up, actually. He's not a slow driver, at least from what we've seen before. I think he won a race.
Yeah, he's not. He's not slow by any means. And to be honest, none of these D3 guys back there are necessarily slow. You got to keep in mind that this grid is incredibly spread apart in the skill group. And these guys at the top of D1, are incredibly fast. Even Buzzgod and Max racing up there with them is incredibly impressive. But you know, these guys are so fast. Like, I promise you, if these guys down here in D3 were to, you know, race against any casual average Joe out the streets, they would absolutely cook them. These guys know what they're doing. They're still good drivers. But when you get put against some of the fastest drivers in the world up here that we've got in Division 1, sometimes, you know, the skill gap does look pretty severe. Chonk, even though he's down there in 15th, he's still the second car in D3. You know, the D3 guys are rounding out the bottom 5 right now, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So he's still number 2 in D3, and I think that right now is probably an acceptable position for him.
So let's look at our division leaders right now. We have Air, of course, leading D1, Buzzgod leading D2. For D3, I can't tell if it's either
Steven
well,
Alvarez.
let's see, it's Alvarez, would it be? Yeah, okay. I thought he was D2 for some reason, but no, he's D1 and leading all of them. So
D3.
good pace.
Yeah. D3, leaving
Yeah,
all.
D3. Sorry.
Wait, yeah, hold on. I thought Alvarez was D2.
I'll take a look at it. I have to see.
I could be wrong.
Alvarez is a bit colorblind. D2. Alvarez is D2.
All right, so Alvarez has the wrong color car. Okay, so 15, 16, 17, 18. That's your D3 drivers right there. And Logan PSQ. Now I think about Logan PSQ's D3, right?
Check that as well.
So he's the wrong color as well.
Logan's here.
Oh yeah, okay. So Logan PSQ is your D3 leader. Guys are a little bit colorblind here, but that's all right. I think safety car should come in this lap. And this is going to be an interesting restart because these guys out front on the really worn tires is going to be kind of dangerous to be behind. And you know what? We're not going to take off this time. We're going to go for another lap because Florida did not catch up to the field.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the tire warming technique some of these drivers use. It looks like Air is on the throttle, but also a bit on the brakes sometimes. I believe that was actually a fuel burning technique, the last game at least. Look at him go.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that on this game it's pretty efficient to do some burnouts and then lock up, but normally that's when you get to your grid spot. That's how you warm the tires pretty quickly. Wouldn't expect the same for a safety car restart, but we'll have to see. Although if you mess up a burnout in the front of the pack, that would definitely be catastrophic.
Yeah, a little embarrassing for sure. Era's really dragging his brakes a lot, and that's just, I think that's going to be, and you see Major Cosmo's doing the same thing, Big Mom Frank's doing the same thing. Quentin, maybe not so much. Buzzguy's not doing it.
Max is.
Is he? Yeah, so there you go. So I think that's just a strategy that is common in this game. It's getting leaked out a little bit. You know how in last game we saw a lot more of people like swerving left and right to get their tires warmed up? I'm not so sure that's gone, but I think that this holding the brakes to warm up the tires is definitely kind of becoming trendy, and it might be a little bit stronger than it was last game at least. So people are trying out some new methods of tire warm up.
Interesting. I do remember that being the strategy for fuel burning though, holding the brake on the throttle. So I can't tell which one it is, but if it works out for warming
it might be a
tires too,
combination, yeah.
Yeah, I found weaving to be a bit less effective, but hey, so we got Florida caught up to the pack now. We'll soon get the notification that we are ready to go racing once again, and there it is. So we're ready to go green, green, green. It's going to be tough for Quentin K, probably the fastest driver on track other than Hudson, to really get past these top two drivers who haven't pitted yet, but we'll have to see. Maybe we'll go for an ambitious move. Maybe we go on board with him for the start and just see him, take it.
Yeah, sure. We'll see if he can make a move down into turn one. He's got the ideal tire for the situation. Major's definitely going to be struggling on 10-lap old mediums. We'll see. Era's going to try to get a jump right here. Be able to do it. I think he's got a pretty good jump, so he's going to see. Quentin's all over the back of Big Mom Frank, and I'm going to guess that this is going to be a pretty easy move down into turn one. Frank is maybe he's got his overtake on. He's going to try to contest into turn one.
He is.
Going to fight a little bit, and Quentin is going to have to.
Hudson and Buzzgot are side by side right now going into turn 3, and
Hudson
Buzzgot
backs out of
still
it for
in
now, so
5. Max and Magnussen also going at it. Very good fight from these two. Max stays ahead for now. Quinton K still not really making any moves on the top 3, but you can definitely tell he's quick. Really go for a move
Ooh.
around the outside here. It's
And
gonna be
Hudson
interesting to
gets
see.
by Buzzgot as well. I'm pretty sure he's going to make a stick around the outside. And Quinton's going to make the same attempt. And Hudson's going to go for a 2-for-1. He's going to go around the outside in the hairpin. He's going to get 2 positions in the same quarter. Go around Buzzgot and Frank. Why not? Got the medium tires, and they're feeling good.
Down to perfection as well, and you might even look at a move on Quinton K here. He's so close to the back of his fellow D1 driver. Buzzgot now clearing BMF as well. Hudson less than a tenth behind, but he's not going to make the move here. Hitting the wall in the exit, but he's actually got an amazing move here through that left to right. Quinton K having a mistake, and Hudson capitalizing amazingly.
Yeah, that was a really nice move from Hudson to do the crossover, and Quinton having a little bit of mistake right there. Big Mom Frank dropping down some positions, and he might have some damage. I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah, he's missing a left wing or in plate. Not good for Big Mom Frank, but it is good for Ecos Verstappen, or Ecos Darth Vader, sorry, who is moving up to the field up to P12. He's on those medium tires. He's got to get a move on quickly. And he's going to have to hope for a safety car as well if he wants any chance at this towards the end.
So now Hudson is past Quinton K, but he's looking at maybe even another move on Major Castleman, and there he goes. Very tricky section, but he's capitalizing on errors made by all the drivers ahead of him, and he's doing a great job of just carving through this field. And he's doing just that. He's leaving people behind like Quinton K, Buzzgot, and Mexican Cube. He's doing an absolutely amazing job. And now we saw these two fight in a league versus league race, but now could we see the same? We know Hudson has a huge advantage, but we got a side-by-side battle between Quinton K and Major Castleman, but looks like Quinton K backs out. I'd assume that's what you're gasping at, so I'll let you kind of take us through what happened there.
Yeah,
And
Quinton was looking like he was going to get it on the inside, but he decided to back out last second. It was close. Going through there too wide is definitely scary, and now Hudson's all over the back of Aaron. I think if he's going to play it smart right here, he'll probably just wait till he's got DRS. Should be right here. If DRS is enabled, is it not? Maybe not yet. Okay, so he's going to go on the overtake button. Eric's not going to contest it because he knows the tire difference is not there. He's not racing Hudson. He's on a different strategy, so not going to contest it for the time being. But Quinton is going to try it around the outside on Major Castleman, and they're all three right there together. Buzzgot's trying to make a move through as well as he's kind of trapped there and behind him. Max and Cube even coming in for some of the action. DRS is finally enabled. We'll see how this turn 1 goes. It's getting a little dicey back here in the battle for P4. Ooh, Max can maybe... Yeah, struggling a little bit for Major with those tires, 13-lap-old mediums. And I think that's Buzzgot who goes off the track. He may have got the position off the track as well. I don't know if they'll have to give that back if the game will require him to, or...
If he does, he definitely won't do it through here, but on this next straight, we'll have to see. Major going off the track now. Madison Cube is going to be all over the back of this man here. Will he go down the inside? Yes, he will. He's making a great move here, and now X-Max is actually making a move himself. Has to back out of it, but I think we'll see him get past very soon as well. Major still very close on the back of Madison Cube, and we have another driver, Big Mama Frank this time, now crashing out, maybe retiring in Sector 1. No safety car yet. I'll keep you updated on that, but now the DRS is enabled, so we'll see some moves happening here. Quinton K really needs to clear Eric Cavallo here. He's within the 1 second gap. He's at the wall on the inside a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be very soon that we see Quinton K storming past Eric Cavallo and then going for the lead of the race soon. We'll have the hard tire, which will be the better tire near the end of the race, but we've got a huge battle here with Max making a double overtake, I saw. And now Max and Cube is going through, and now they make contact. John Ranger and Major Castleman making contact. Major Castleman has retired from the session and leaves the session immediately. And that was because of contact with John Ranger.
Oh no, and we see a Ferrari. Oh wow, this might be a safety car.
What is happening here?
Yeah, and that's going to be a VSC. Wow, so some crazy action at the back of the field. Looks like Chonk and Kaginis. Maybe Chonk was the first one to spin, and Kaginis came around the corner. He saw him, and both of them are going to end up losing their wings for that. But I'm not sure what happened to Major. Like you said, maybe there was some contact with John Ranger, and Major went around in the hairpin. And that was the end of his race right there. He decided that, you know, he had the wing damage and kind of ruined his strategy. So
Full safety car now.
full safety car. Really? Did someone crash on a safety car?
Doesn't look like it, but now that the third safety car is out, that helps people. Well, actually, it probably wouldn't help Eric Carvalho too much, even though it normally would if the pack was spread out a bit. He's just definitely not going to get the advantage that he wants, but that definitely helps him now, as it does with Alvarez. Maybe even some of the medium runners trying to pit, maybe get on a better tire. Do you think the softs could make it to that?
I'm not sure. I think maybe they can, but this is a weird spot. If you're Hudson, you don't pit. You definitely don't pit if you're Hudson because you got P1. But you know, Quinton, Buzzgod, Max, like they got a fresh set of mediums sitting there and like, can definitely make it, or softs like you're saying. And right now you're out in the hards. I know you're gonna lose some track position, but if you all pit together, then you know, you leave Hudson out to dry. It's almost like a mutual agreement. You know what I'm saying? If everyone pits, then you're not gonna lose any spots. But if you're Hudson, you can't pit blindly not knowing it. Like who's gonna pit behind you? You know? I don't know. This is a tough one.
Quinton stays out, Buzzgod stays out, everyone's staying out other than, looks like John Ranger, maybe having some light wing damage we can't see. Darth Vader also into the pits, Eric Carvalho of course. Combined YouTuber and Logan actually goes through, so he's in 7th now with top of the pack.
Let's see if these guys put on softs. Yep, they are. They're all put on softs, just like you said. Oh, okay, not all of them. Okay, yeah, Eric goes to mediums, Darth Vader goes to softs.
Ranger onto mediums as well. Combined YouTuber getting held up, but he's also going onto the medium, so Darth Vader will be our only soft tire runner here.
Yeah, he's trying that soft, medium, soft strategy, huh?
I like it, though. I like it.
So, trying to get some moves done. Darth Vader, he's going to be in the same position as Era. Both of them are going to be trying to get to the front of the field as quickly as they can. And you know what? Look what's in front of him, man. A lot of guys on some older, hard tires. It's possible.
And we know Era's got the pace as well. He has a bit of a glitch. But, I mean, this could be a very, very nice finish for Era if he can just carve through these drivers. I mean, we know drivers like Hokage, Good Joke, Slogan are definitely not as quick as Era. But Magnussen, Max, and Buzzgod, Quinton K, of course, could definitely be a big challenge for Era. So we'll have to see.
I think for Darth Vader and Era, it's really, really, really going to depend on how quickly can they get through the likes of Hokage, Logan, and Grid Jokes. Those guys are definitely out of place being up there in front of them. And they're going to get through. It's just like how quickly will they get through? And by the time they get through, will that sort of top 5 be gone? Yeah, you know. So will there be a DRS train that's kind of left the pack behind? I don't know. But, you know, if Era gets up to the back of Magnussen Cube, I know Magnussen Cube is fast, but with the tire difference, I would imagine that Era can make that move happen, and Eco Darth Vader could probably do the same on the softs.
Yeah, so people, well, pretty much everyone who pit did a little bit more work for us here because we'll have to. What is going on here? Seeing this with Era as well. Era's just lost a position on her safety car. Well, I was gonna say that we'd have to. Well, we're gonna. What is going on here? Era teleporting again. And now he goes past Darth Vader, and goes back behind him. That's this is interesting. Hokage, no, that's Logan into the pits. Probably deserves his time penalty.
So I think what happened was that Era he probably tabbed out of the game and then it teleported him back, whereas we've seen that happen frequently. In past F1 games. He's trying to get past Darth Vader now, but for that to happen, Darth Vader needs to pull off the track. And Darth Vader doesn't want to give that spot up. He's trying to hold on to it. Era wants by, but as long as Darth Vader stays on the track, he's not getting by.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to make a point where we'd have to see Darth Vader, like we'd have to pay attention to him making the overtakes, but we'd also have to pay attention to the likes of Era and Ranger also trying to maybe slide through as well, because they got the grip, but if they have to, each one of them pick through the field one by one, it's going to be very tough, so maybe they can work as a bit of a field, as a bit of a team to get through all these cars at once, and they'd be the big benefactorials, is that a word?
Beneficiaries?
Yeah, beneficiaries, there you go. So, that is the case here. We'll see, now that the lap count is ticking down quite a bit, I think these soft tires are becoming a more and more good-looking strategy here.
Looks like a very valuable tire at the moment, especially since Logan got out of the way now, and then Era's behind him too. I think Darth Vader's in a really good spot. He's going to get by Hokage Roll Day, which shouldn't be a problem at all. And Grid Jokes after that might put up a little bit of battle, but then he's going to be right on the back of Magnus and Cube, ready to fight with those top guys. And he could be on for, I don't know, I could see a podium finish happening. Hudson on for the win, potentially still. This safety car had to help him because now those tires at the end may not be so much worse than those hard tires. He's got a couple laps where he could really just take it easy, save some grip, and prepare himself to be ready to battle with Quentin at the end of the race.
Yes, absolutely. So I'll let you pick who we go on board with, but I'll go on with Hudson just to see when he starts here. We'll have to probably start within the corner.
Yeah, we'll hop over with Quentin just to see if he can get around on Hudson. But if he doesn't, we're going to go back to Eco's Darth Vader and see if he can make any moves. Plus, I know a lot of team principals are wanting to see him, see what he can do. And we already know what Quentin can do. We know what Hudson can do, you know. Those guys are whatever. We're going to hop on board with Darth Vader once Hudson gets going, and we're just going to see what this guy can do. Hudson gets a heck of a jump, by the way. Darth Vader's going to get a run, too, but he can't pass before that start-finish line. His overtake is on, but he does not have the top speed of Hokage Roll Day, which is unfortunate because he's got to get by him right here. And he's going to outbrake him into turn 1. Hokage Roll Day is going to... Ooh, he's going to try to fight it back. Hokage Roll Day showing a little bit of fight. I like that, man. I like that. So Hokage doesn't let him by easily, and Darth Vader's now on the move. He's got Grid Jokes in front of him with 9-lap old hards, and he's going to make this move happen really quickly, and he's got to do it cleanly, too.
Got another retiree in Chunk in the first sector. Looks like it is not going to cause a safety car. We saw a battle in between these two D2 drivers at the front, and looks like Max got the better of Buzzgod, so now he's up into third. Definitely has podium potential, and we see that as Hokage Roll Day. Has he had a bit of a moment? Has he had a spin? What's happened here?
Yeah, I think he did, but he doesn't have any damage, so he's all right for now. We'll keep our eyes on Darth Vader. He's continuing to close that gap to Grid Jokes. He's gonna need to get a good run out of here. DRS is not enabled yet. I don't know if he's waiting for it to be enabled, but he's got to get a move on, so I don't know if he's got the time to wait for that DRS to come online.
Here comes Magnus and Cube on Buzzgod here. He's going to try around the outside into the final corner. It's not side by side yet, but he will be if he dives down the inside, and he does. D1 driver versus D2. And Buzzgod has actually gone for the switchback here, and he's just barely side by side with Magnus and Cube, but now he's behind him. But now he's got the toe. He's going to try down the inside once again, back onto the battery. So close to making contact. Down the inside goes Buzzgod, but he backs out of it. And now Grid Jokes is going to try push Buzzgod along as well.
Yeah, a little bit of lockup right there.
Darth Vader get through as well.
Yeah, Darth Vader goes for a little bit of switchback right there. Going to try around the outside of Grid Jokes. Grid Jokes doesn't want to back out of it. So it didn't give him a whole lot of space there. They made a little bit of contact, but Darth Vader's going to be able to get the position. And now he's on the move. He's all over or he will be shortly, all over the back of Buzzgod.
Yes, absolutely. So instead of just all of these D1 drivers being at the front, we actually see a bit of a mix-up with Max and Buzzgod and Grid Jokes even. And now, actually, as I say that, Grid Jokes has been overtaken by none other than Eric Carvalho on the medium tires. We did mention him making a run, or trying to at least, and now that it's just the start of it, he's going to try and follow Darth Vader through here. As Darth Vader might have a run here on Buzzgod. He's coming back to Buzzgod very quickly.
This would be a crazy corner to overtake.
Outside into this corner. Buzzgod just has to back out, and he does. So another position made for Darth Vader, and I believe he said that he's got podium potential in him, and he's definitely showing that here. He's got a lot of battery as well, when Magnus and Cube only has 1%. Eric Carvalho actually making it past Buzzgod now. So these two are really covering through the field as Eric Carvalho goes down the inside of Darth Vader. What an amazing move from Eric Carvalho. If he can keep it together here, Darth Vader onto the battery, but he hasn't got the straight line speed of Eric Carvalho. We know he's on a high downforce speed, but now Air's going for Magnus and Cube as well. He's out for blood here. Into P4 goes Eric Carvalho, but Magnus fights it back, making a bunch of contact here. Can maybe Darth Vader go for the switchback? Now yes, he can. He's side by side with Magnus and Cube. He's shoved into the wall, and now Air's trying to concede these two positions here. Side by side.
Magnus and Cube just pushes him off track, and oh my gosh!
Making big contact, and he's around is Darth Vader.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what Darth Vader was doing with that re-entry, but Magnus and Cube driving like an absolute maniac out there, giving no regard for human life, just pushing Darth Vader off the track in multiple occasions with the old hard tires. I'm not quite sure what we just saw there, but that wouldn't go over well in the stewards room, and Darth Vader's going to retire. I think, you know, maybe... I think we saw enough from Darth Vader to see he's competitive right there. But I think we might have a rivalry building because I see Darth Vader already typing in the chat, and that was a little bit ridiculous from Magus and Cube. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a rivalry is already brewing between those two.
Yep, kind words from Darth Vader, of course. Caution, that's just Darth Vader retiring, but that was some NASCAR level of wheelbagging right there. And on the street circuit, doesn't work out like how it does in NASCAR. And now, so Max is still in P3, but Era's got a time penalty. I have no idea where from. 3 seconds, so I'd assume it'd be from warnings. But he's got now Max and Cube behind him, and with the with the fight that we saw from Max and Cube, I'd have Eric Carvalho being a bit scared of Magnussen potentially. Buzzgod also on the back of Magnussen, but he's not very close, or at least not close enough. I think we should pay attention to the battle at the very, very front as we see someone spin in the back. We see Quentin K, and he's
trying to hold on.
Pretty decent pace on this, and he's just at a moment as well, which doesn't help him
Yeah.
whatsoever. So now he's dropped out of DRS.
So he's lost DRS, and he's on the old hard tires. Quentin just picks up 3 seconds. He's really struggling right now. He's got no battery. Florida retires from the session. Hudson, though, really just, he's got 56 battery. I feel like he just got this under control. Really, for Quentin, it's going to be about, can he hold on to the spot, because Era's coming up as well. I know it. I'm going to ignore the time penalties for the sake of racing here, but you know, Era's going to be on the run here. He's going to be trying to get past Max.
He might even get it done right now. He's onto the battery. He doesn't even need the DRS to start his move, and he's going to be well past Max here, unless somehow Max fights it back, and he doesn't. But he's got the time penalty, does Eric Carvalho, so even if he can gap Max, he's still, if he wants to gain any more positions, he has to clear Quentin K on track rather than just sitting behind him with the time penalty.
So Max,
yeah, back here.
I don't know if Max is just willing to sit behind Era and just, you know, race with the time penalty. Yeah, it might be why he kind of didn't fight too hard right there, but I don't know. We'll see. It's right now he's comfortable hanging on to the DRS of Era. So we've had a lot of DNFs worth noting here. I know that these guys, like, it's not for points races, but with team principals watching, people aren't going to be impressed when they see, you know, 8 people DNF from the race. If your name's down there, grayed out. I know this is Jeddah, and Jeddah's hard, but we'll look at maybe not doing a street circuit next time for the sake of cleanliness. But we got to make sure that these people are finishing races.
We have Logan around, I think. No damage to the McLaren driver. He's got his wings still. He's spun in a very dangerous location, though. Those raised curbs are definitely not something you want to be riding. And actually, look how fast Era's closed up to the back of Quentin K. He might even get the move done right now, backs out of it. So, smart driving from Eric Carvalho. And now that Quentin K is back down from Hudson, this is potentially the fight here for P2. What are you going on about here, Duncan?
Let's see. I mean, Era's look like he's intentionally backing out. I think he wants DRS right here. He's got the fresh medium tires, and yeah, with the DRS and the overtake, this is going to be a pretty easy move for him. He's going to fly around the outside, and I'm sure Quentin's not too happy to see that happen. But the 14-lap old hards are just not giving him any grip, not giving him the grip he needs as he misses the apex into turn 1, and it's just getting a little bit worse for him. But Max and Cube's 2 seconds back. I feel like we have a pretty comfortable podium locked out as Max is trying to get himself up into that 4th place position.
At this rate, though, Magnussen would be in P2, as Quentin K does drop further and further back from Era, though I don't think that will stay the case for long. And there it goes. Bit of a moment for Magnussen as well, out of a very interesting turn to have a moment. But now Era's already into DRS. He's closed like 4 seconds in 2 laps, so this is a great showing from Eric Carvalho. But he's got a time penalty, so it's going to be very crucial that Era clears Hudson quick. He's got 7-lap fresher tires, so I'm going to assume that he's going to wait to overtake Hudson until turn 1 of next lap, and then from there he's just going to try and fly away. If that is the case, then I think we have a very, very good race and a good finish for Eric Carvalho here. With this time penalty, it's going to give him just a bit of an extra chore to deal with. I think we might have small battle in between Buzzgod and Max here as well.
Era
Around
getting
the
off the
outside goes
throttle right there at the
Buzzgod.
end of the straightaway. Hudson locks up a little bit. Oh, gets a little bit loose on throttle. That's going to make it a really easy overtake for Era, but Hudson's going to try to hang on to that 3 seconds would be my guess. Actually, Hudson's going to use the overtake. He's not giving in. They're going to go side by side into turn 1. Hudson's going to probably look for a switchback. No, he's going to squeeze him a little bit.
And he stays in P1. Era's getting very close though. I don't think he'd go for a dive into turn 3. And he doesn't. So now that this is kind of brewing, I think that was actually a very good decision from Hudson just to keep him behind for a little bit longer.
I
But
just
now
don't
does
know
that
with the
change
battery, like,
strategy?
with the battery, I don't know how long Hudson, I mean, he's got 48% battery, but he's going to have to burn a lot here, and I don't know if that's enough to keep Era behind.
And just look how quicker Era is through the corners. Like, he's definitely gaining 210s through those last couple of corners alone. But I wonder, will Era try and go for a move earlier so he can just have a bit more time to gain on Hudson Pool? He's gonna have to get pretty argy with Hudson here, and he lifts up the throttle again completely. So unless Era can gap Hudson in around about 26 corners, he's gonna be sitting in second place here.
He's lifting it again. I think he really just wants to be...
And Hudson knows this too. He's fully off the throttle way earlier. So interesting to see this from both drivers.
Okay.
It's kind of like what we saw between Verstappen and Hamilton 2021, if you remember.
Yeah, I think that they're
But
playing a
now
little bit of
Hudson-
DRS chicken. And Era
Hudson
doesn't really have
actually
the battery,
tried to
though.
defend it. Down the inside goes Hudson Pool again, and he's made
Oh, he
a
locks
bunch
up.
of contact, and Hudson is
Oh,
around,
no.
and that effectively hands the win to Eric Cavallo here. Unless, look at Max, he's
Oh my gosh,
just
Max,
within
yeah.
the 3-second gap here. He just has to push. I don't know if he knows it yet, but if he just keeps pushing as hard as he can here and he stays within 3 seconds, he's got the no, as
no,
he
he
goes
hot
on the
dogged
curve.
it.
So now it's
Oh
on
no, the crazy re-entry. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
now it's
he
on to
almost took
Max
Hudson out right
Cube.
there, I'm pretty sure. Oh my gosh. So yeah, now it's on the Magnussen Cube. Oh, as Hudson gets loose on the throttle. I think those mediums are just absolutely torched for him right now. He's got no grip. But yeah, you're right. Magnussen Cube maybe could get in here. Let's get the gap to the leader. 4 seconds back at the moment.
It's done.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have any position changes here apart from Magnussen Cube jumping up to P2. No one's really that close to each other that I'm seeing.
Hudson could be looking at a move though in the final couple of corners. He's onto the DRS
Oh,
now. He's on
yeah.
the ERS. And here he goes. He's going to try round the
my
outside.
gosh.
He's going to make it very easily. But will we see a drag race to the line here? It's going to be very possible. Magnussen getting a bunch better exit here onto the battery, onto the DRS now. It doesn't look like he'll get it, and he won't. So this is our podium. We have Era winning, Hudson into P2. Now Magnussen is P3, and Max dropping down to P4. Quinton K in P5, Buzzgod P6, Alvarez in P7 is pretty good. John Ranger jumping him though. Grid Jokes in P9, Combined YouTuber P10, Loken in P11, and Hokage in P12. We have, what is this, 8 DNFs here, including Florida, Darth Vader, Chunk, Kaganis, Major Castleman, Big Mama Frank, Simon Colston, and Leo Hudson. So plenty of DNFs, but also plenty of racing action with the cars that remained. What do you think of this race here, Duncan? Do you think this gives good information for some team principals?
I don't know how much good information there is. I think maybe a little bit of good information, but not a whole lot. This wasn't super useful for team principals. The ADNFs were not helpful, but the track didn't help. I see people complaining that maybe there wasn't enough turnaround time. People don't have time to practice such a difficult track, and that might be true too. So maybe we'll cut them a little bit of slack here, but these guys got to remember that if they don't finish races, they don't get points here in Zoom Racing League. So finishing the race is very important, and seeing 8 people DNF is not off to a great start. But I think these races got to get cleaned up moving forward. But we are definitely in the preseason and early in the game cycle, so there's time for that to happen. People are going to get used to their setups, get used to the new braking models, the new tire models, and you know, I think it'll get better from here.
Yeah.
So
Are we gonna have interviews here?
No, we're not gonna do any interviews today, guys. This is just a preseason race. But yeah, we will call it on that. Good race from everybody who finished. Yeah, Nathan Dunn, you got anything to say?
Well, I actually have another question here. So,
Sure.
talk us through, do we have any more preseason races for our fans to watch here
Oh
coming
yes,
soon?
sorry. So, the next 2 Saturdays leading up to the draft, we'll hold a series of preseason races. So we got one next Saturday. Not sure what track yet, and I'll try to announce that a little earlier this time around, and then we'll have one the following Saturday as well. So, looking forward to those. Hopefully, we can get a little bit better racing going on, and then our viewers and team principals can tune in and get a little bit better scouting opportunity. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in if you're here, and we will look forward to seeing you guys the next time around. Have a great night and enjoy your weekend.